or treating her the way she should be treated.
Okay,
If you find a woman who slept with...
No, that's true.
Cause you don't know.
They
could just be sleeping with bums and shit.
Right. No. If I have sex with like 15 men, not all 15 men are gonna be stunners.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hyphiereactions, and I'm back again with another reaction. Today, I'm here with my friend
Elsa.
And today we're gonna be reacting to some just pearly things. Y'all love when I react to that, so you know what I'm saying. I figured why not get a female perspective, a woman perspective on issues and things like that. But before we get into the video, I'm gonna need y'all to do three things. I'm gonna need y'all to do subscribe, hit that post notifications, and hit that like button. Man. Let's get into this video.
There has not been in the history of humanity, across any culture, any book, any story, any fable, there has never been across the history of humanity any respect put on the name of a promiscuous female, ever. Ever. You name the biggest conquerors that you can possibly name from history. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, all of them. They all had 100 wives, bunch of children, Big G, conquered the world. Normal. That is normal evolutionary biology. That's how men are designed to be. There's never been a single female who's been celebrated for her promiscuity, ever in history.
Well,
how you feel about that?
Well, he's right in the aspect that there isn't anything that's generally known that it's popular for females to be promiscuous and it's like celebrated. That's true. However, where he fucked up or messed up is him saying it's in genetics, because that's not true. The way men and women, they associate may be partially genetics, but it's not in your genetics to be promiscuous. That's an environmental thing.
It's like social, kind of like a social construct.
It's a social construct, which is issues that I know he has, separating social constructs from genetics. You have to keep those two things in mind. You're not genetically disposed to be like promiscuous. You're genetically disposed to have certain diseases or to look a certain way. It's your social environment that makes you promiscuous. If you grow up in a household where your parents they're okay to like step outside their marriage and have like different people, or you had a mom who was a single mom or a single dad who would have different girlfriends or different boyfriends in and out of your house. That's environmental. So you grow up thinking that that's okay.
And then it just cycles
through, yeah. So right there is like,
history. It's always been frowned upon and disgusting. So yes, we are completely and utterly different. Yes, it's different if a woman cheats on a man, and if a man is at a complete top level of his life and ticks every single box, and if he decides to be loyal, which some do, and I can be loyal, and I have been loyal, but there's also times in my life where I think, fuck it, I don't want to be, and get a new girlfriend every single day of the week. I can do that. And I can.
Is nuts.
I mean, that's
he
nuts.
said every single day of the week.
No, that's nuts, but it's true. Like, if
he said every single day of the week.
No, it's true though. If you are in a point in your life where you're like, wow, I'm doing so well, and this person doesn't serve me, and you want to like exit that relationship,
get him out of it.
Exit that relationship. And if you decide, all right, well, personally, if I say, oh, I don't like my boyfriend anymore, dump him, right? If I want to have a new boyfriend tomorrow, I can have a new boyfriend tomorrow. People might judge, but no, that's very true, just across the board.
You decide to do that. If a woman decides to do the same, purely because her value is high enough to attract so many males, because she's beautiful, for example, it is completely different. And I'm going to explain to you why it's completely different, so buckle up. It's different. It's different. It's different. Well, I'll tell you why. It is impossible for a female to be promiscuous on a long enough period of time without devaluing herself, because she is fucking people she shouldn't be fucking. There is no way she is sleeping with endless men, and all of them are either high-value men or treating her the way she should be treated. If you find a woman who slept with...
No, that's true.
Cause you don't know.
They could
just be sleeping with bums and shit.
Right. No. If I have sex with like 15 men, not all 15 men are gonna be stunners. But he has to also remember in the same way that if he fucks 15 women, they're also not gonna all be stunners.
But it doesn't count for. I think what he's saying is like it doesn't count for the top G. Because if you're in this top echelon of people, like it's hard for men to get girls in general. So it's just like, if you're in the top echelon, like you just fuck anything.
Right, but in the same string, when you're a woman and you're in like that top 10, top 15%, and you're doing so well in your life, it doesn't matter who you have sex with because it doesn't affect your status. So he's saying it like devalues you, and that's true, right? On a moral and a social ethic type scale, right? It does. However, when you're already up here, do you care about your butler? No. You care that you're up here. Whatever you do in your head, you don't care. That's why like a lot of rich people, right? They commit crimes like it's nothing because
You're
they
kind of
know.
spitting right now.
Right.
You're actually kind of spitting. You're actually kind of
They
spitting.
commit
Hold on.
crimes like it's nothing.
Let her cook, yo. Let her cook. Let her cook. Hold on.
They commit crimes like it's nothing because they know that I have
It doesn't matter.
I have
They
the
have
cash, I have the reputation to like fix that, and if it does affect my reputation, I have people to make that go away. It's the same thing when you're in that top percent, no matter if you're a woman or a man.
Nah, you spitting right now. You definitely spitting.
50, 100 dudes. She's either fucking dudes which aren't at her level or haven't worked
But I
hard
don't know.
enough.
Maybe he's just talking about like the average girl. Like he's talking, not maybe like what you said before. Maybe I'm talking about like the top notch.
Well,
But like
I said that because that's what he said.
Yeah.
To try and get the pussy, she was just too drunk to realize he's a loser, plays video games, or she's fucking a top G who barely texts her back. So either way, she's fucking dudes she shouldn't be fucking, or a guy who's at the level who doesn't give her the right amount of attention. For a woman to find a guy who's truly on a level, who truly treats her the way she should be treated, that's once every couple years, if that. You ain't just gonna go out there fucking a new dude every week and say, yeah, he's worth pussy, yeah, he treats me good enough to get my pussy, da-da-da.
That headphones is way too big for his fucking head.
I was thinking that he looks like a little peanut. It's like,
Yo, they did him dirty with these fucking headphones, bro. Like,
And you know what's funny about-
he has an awkward head shape.
he has a fucking
you don't-
dip. He has
he
like
has-
a fucking whatchamacallit in the.
It's his temple. It's his temple. It protrudes so much, so he don't have hair to hide that head shape. Because like if he had
Holy
hair,
shit.
it would look different.
Holy shit.
The universe, it's actually beautiful about the universe because it's equal and opposite forces. When you devalue yourself, it's kind of like men can smell it on you. They can just look at a bitch and go, oh. And that's the way it works. So you have to be very careful as a female and sit and go, does this man truly deserve to fuck me? And if you think about it, the answer 99% of the
Shit, did I record? Imagine I didn't have record. I did.
time, especially if you're promiscuous, is no. So when a woman is sleeping around with all these men, she's devaluing herself. She's devaluing herself, and the world knows, God knows, the universe knows. When a man does it, he doesn't devalue himself at all. That's just the way it works.
Can I ask you a question? Wait.
What you think about that? Because I feel like that's facts.
If he's talking about societal norms, yes, he's 100% correct. Like in society, if a woman sleeps around, your value goes from like 10 to 1. Yes, that's true. And while men, like, they'll stay at their 10. But if he's talking about technicalities, that's not true, because if you and your girlfriend decide, all right, well that's fine, and you sleep with like 10 other
Get
women,
STD or some shit.
and she sleeps with like 10 other men, right? That doesn't make her a bad person or a hoe.
Still...
Because A, that's agreed upon. B, you're doing the same thing.
I guess
I
it's
think-
just different. I just think it's
I think
different because
socially-
it's harder. Socially, it's harder
I
for
think
guys
that's
to
what it
get
is.
girls. It's easier for girls to get guys. Like, let's be honest. If you walked up to 10 guys
Right.
and be like, I'm trying to fuck, and you're going to get like very like 80 or 90% of the time, they're going to be like, yeah. But if a guy does the same shit, it's going to be like maybe 10%, maybe like
Well, that's
20%.
Now we're talking about the difference in environments.
I think that's what he's
Like
talking about.
when I grew up, my mom, she was like, have standards, because they're gonna treat you X, Y, and Z, and you need to be careful, because if you're too dependent on a man, right, and he treats you terribly, you can't leave. But when men grow,
Why can't you leave?
well, if you depend upon a
You
man
depend on him
financially,
too much?
if you depend upon a man financially, it means he's making more than you are. You're making less. You're more susceptible to like just be like the stay-at-home mom who doesn't have that job. And when you're doing that for so many years, it's
It just
hard to
becomes a
build.
norm?
It's not even that. It's hard to build a resume to put forth to get new jobs. Like, yes, I was a teacher back in 1985. But what does that have to do now in 2023 when I have no other experience? And you probably can't even find that source because a lot of schools shut down, management changes. And after a certain amount of years, your records and your files of you doing shit goes away. Like, they delete that because it's useless.
I got you. Let me see.
Hey, wait, Esther, 1 second. Sir, may I ask you a question? What would you say if a woman now is married to 2 men?
Haram.
Why?
No, I'll tell you why. Let's talk about this. What is the difference between a man, let's say me, I have 4 wives, right? What's the difference between a man having 4 wives and a woman having 4 men?
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time.
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time, and we know who the parents are, right? So
Yes.
let's say you had 4 pregnancies, you'd know who the mother is because she's carrying the baby, and you know who the dad is, top G. If you had a woman with 4 men and she gets pregnant, who's the parents?
What about if...
But no, I'm asking. Do
Okay,
you know?
I ask, what if they're different races? One
Answer
white,
the
one black.
question.
You don't know.
Answer the question.
You don't know. Now, modern science can come along and maybe fix that for you, but that doesn't mean it's not wrong in the eyes of God. The idea of having a family, the idea of a child being born.
Okay, so here's where I have an issue. Now you're putting your own religion into it. So he's
going
obviously
God, yeah.
right. Well, no, he's obviously Muslim,
Yeah.
right? Because he just mentioned haram, right?
Yeah.
That's a Muslim thing.
Yeah.
But what if I'm a different religion and I believe in a different thing? That's where we butt heads.
See, I think I'm gonna push back on that a little bit, just because I feel like it's like what he said before. I think he's just trolling when he's like,
Oh,
and stuff like
100.
that. But like when he said,
100%.
if you have 4 wives, right?
Right.
If a woman has 4 husbands, right? You literally are not gonna know. They're all fucking her. They're not gonna know which one is which until the baby comes out. However,
I
if
mean,
the
you kind
girls,
of do. You can.
I mean, now like he said, modern
No.
science.
Without
like,
that, you can.
How?
All right, so if let's say I had sex with my boyfriend, my neighbor who I'm gonna say his name is Connor.
Okay,
Right?
Connor.
So my
Shout
boyfriend.
out Connor. Say no.
Hey Connor. So my boyfriend.
Boyfriend Connor.
A dude named Liam, and a dude named
Nelson?
Yeah, Nelson. Right.
That's 4.
Right. So say my boyfriend. We had sex 2 months ago. Right.
No, what if we're just talking about like just fucking all in a row, all in a week?
Yes, but if you when you take a pregnancy test, you have to be a certain amount of weeks.
But
right?
yeah, that's but
Right,
what he's
so
saying
when
is
you-
like modern. That's modern stuff though.
Yes,
Pregnant-
sure,
pregnancies is-
but we're in a modern time, so you have to apply modern technologies because why would I apply ancient rules to a modern society? Why would I
That's true.
apply rules from a time where I could like get stoned for being like a
Promiscuous
certain
woman or
not
a
even
witch?
not even just being promiscuous, for being thought of being promiscuous, when in all actuality I could have just been like in the backyard pulling up some blueberries, you
And
know?
then they be like, "She's a witch!
Right.
Burn her at the stake!" don't know.
So why would I apply logic from that time to a time where we all know better? Like we're not dumb. I'm not dumb. You're not dumb.
Right.
Google's free. Why would I use knowledge from back then? Also, why would you use religion to back up your statements or to back up your
If
logic
everyone's not
when
the same religion.
right, when everyone's not the same religion and everybody has like qualms and issues with every religion. Like I'm sure Joe Schmo downstairs, I can be like, yo, what do you think about Muslims? And he can be like, well,
I hate
X,
them.
Y, and Z,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
terrible.
No, that's
or-
true.
right.
That's true. That's facts. That's
So
facts.
don't use things like religion to back your morals up. You can say I believe this morally because of this
X,
religion
Y,
and
Z.
explain why. Explain
Yeah.
why, what's in there. But you can't say, oh yes, it's this way
Boom.
because I said so. in my
Haram.
religion. That's a
Well,
really
the
fun
base-
thing to say.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. It's actually that was one of my friends. He's Muslim, and every time we say something bad, can't say that. It's haram. Like,
lines for a new life to come onto this planet is for at least to understand who the 2 people who made it are. At least, if you have a woman fucking 4 dudes, you don't even know who got her pregnant.
So may I just
It's
say,
disgusting.
wait,
My
wait.
only pushback for Andrew Tate is I would say like the thing is like if you could do the same like minus pregnancy stuff, right? If you're fucking all these bitches, right?
Right.
Or all these women, and bro, you can literally get STD and shit. Like even if the condom can rip, condom can break, things like that. You could be fucking up your future family by getting STD, by getting AIDS and shit, and then you can't have kids for a certain amount of time. You know, modern medicine and stuff like that.
Right. I mean,
has
even
changed,
with
but-
certain STDs, you can't have kids afterwards.
You literally
because
can't have
your
kids.
kids will also have those STDs.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
also, like going back to the pregnancy thing, if you're a man and you sleep around and you sleep with a lot of women, you're not gonna remember the women you sleep with. So if Melinda from like 3 years ago comes to you and is like, "Hey, this is your kid. I'm pregnant. They're 2 years old. I've named him like
XYZ.
Solemn, right? Solemn is your kid. Please." Child support, or please help take
That's
care of him.
facts. That's
how
facts.
How are you going to be like, oh yeah, I did,
That's
right?
facts.
And then it would be like against God to be like,
That's haram.
oh, you just
That's haram.
abandoned your child.
That's haram.
It is. So
Have you seen the twins that had two different dads?
Oh yeah, I saw that. May I just say something then? So if that is the case, yeah, if the one thing that you're meant to have is you, at least you know who the two people.
I'm just cut this part out, but I'm probably gonna probably like do it halfway, so it is getting long.
Yeah.
Like this is like 20-minute part. So maybe like 6 minutes or something. Maybe like 6 or 5, and then we could just do like a part 2 if people find it funny or stuff like that. That's what I usually do. I mean, not funny, but like find it like people liked it and things like that. So,
Yeah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
People that put that child on earth are, then that's why promiscuity for men is also a problem, because they get women pregnant. Sometimes they don't even know they have children. That's a right, no?
No, it's completely different. It's different because you have to understand, I'm talking about humans. You have to look at humans from a societal perspective, but society has changed.
Crazy, you're literally hitting that shit on the fucking nose right
Yeah.
now.
It's because it's
Tell
a,
me woman.
Right? So let's say 200-300 years ago. If a woman got pregnant, she needed a man to survive. If that man didn't take care of her during pregnancy, she was going to die. She couldn't work a job, she couldn't hunt, couldn't fish, whatever, right? A woman literally needed that man for survival. So if you were to come to me and say I'm pregnant, but you've been fucked by 4 different dudes, I'd be like, who says it's mine? Why am I looking after you? None of them want to look after her. She will literally perish. This is why in most of the world today, still today, virginity is so coveted, and throughout all of history it's been so coveted, because that's the only way to ensure paternity. She's a virgin, I know that's my baby. She ain't a virgin, prove it's mine. Outside of this modern science bullshit
I
shape.
guess the only thing is like, how would you even know if she's a virgin or not?
well, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that. It's very hard to know if women are virgins or not. Like you can say you are.
Yeah.
But if the thing that people say that proves your virginity is if you have hymen. However, I don't know if everybody knows
You
this
can
or
break
not.
your hymen.
You can break it
literally
doing anything. Also, it can also reform.
Yeah.
Your hymen isn't something that breaks once and it's like it's something that can just like stay there, or you can almost never. Sometimes you can never break it. There are women who've died and still have their hymen.
That's crazy.
So
nuts.
using that to say that you're a virgin is very hard. And a lot of doctors, they cringe when parents are like, check my daughter. They can't
That's not
check.
how that works.
They
That's
can't
literally
check.
not how that works. Literally.
It's not. So you're playing a game word of mouth. You're like, oh, my daughter hasn't done anything. But do you tell your parents everything? Because I don't.
Oh no, I don't. I definitely don't, for sure.
Bro, I broke a vase in my house 3 years ago, and my mom still doesn't know about it. I didn't tell her.
You hid it? Where'd you hide it? You just bought a new one.
Nah, I just threw it out.
Satan, the devil we have here in the West, in most of the world today, without virginity or at least a low body count or at least anti-promiscuity, you can't tell that that's your baby. So it's a completely different thing. You're looking at the idea of a woman being pregnant and coming to a group of men and saying, one of you has to take care of me and put up with me when I'm fat and moody and annoying and I need my bills paid. And all the men are going to sit there and go, no, fuck no, prove it's mine. You can't prove it. Bounce.
No,
Whereas different. If I get 4 women pregnant, we know the deal.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So obviously back then for survival, women needed a man. Otherwise, when they were pregnant, they could die and all of these things, they would perish. In today's society, given evolution, given the fact that as women we can go
still
and
need
get,
men.
yeah, but I'm not saying that. Isn't there a glitch between what is actually happening and the nature of what we have in our bodies? I think that's probably the.
I think the whole argument, like the whole protecting thing,
Yeah,
like men,
is-
that's weird because women can buy guns.
It's
like,
well,
guns are accessible in the
He's
West.
talking about
so.
a time where it was like pushed for men to be this and women to be little dainty things.
Or something like,
But
I got my woman. I got her. Like, yeah, like, no.
I got your back, boo. But that's what you're talking about. You're
Yeah,
talking about a
literally.
time where it was pushed that way. In society now, it's not, because there's lesbian couples, there's gay couples, there is couples where the women have higher paying jobs, and there's a guy who's like a little house husband. Dynamics
house
are
husbands.
different. Dynamics are different. I can go I can go like the rest of my life without needing another man to do anything. I
That's
have
true.
a job. I could pay my own bills. If I wanted kids, I could adopt. I sincerely don't need a man anymore in
Literally.
today's society. You don't need a man to do those things. Now, is it better if you have a partner that plays a more
supports.
masculine role
Yeah.
and then a more feminine role? Yes, but you find that
You don't
within
need it.
natural. No, you find masculine and feminine roles adopted by people. Like in my friend's relationship, she is a very masculine person. Like she's a very like raw person. If you looked at her, you would think she was like a lesbian. Yeah, because like a lesbian who she wears like her little plaid. She does very masculine things, And her boyfriend is actually a more like feminine person. It's not that he's like, you know, or
He's
like,
not.
or dressing like a girl or acting like a girl, but he takes on a more feminine role. He is more caring and considerate
He
and
cleans.
softer. He cleans, he
Cooks.
cooks, loves cooking. He's actually very good at it. She's trash. But
Dang, that's
I
crazy.
love her with all my life, but I will, she just can't cook, and that's okay. So she got him for it, right? So he takes a more feminine role within their household.
Now, how long has that relationship been going on?
5 years, and
Oh,
they're
so they're going on
married.
strong then.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
5 years married. They're doing perfectly fine. Every relationship between like just two people, like a friendship or just romantic, somebody naturally carries on a more masculine role. You don't necessarily need it to be a man anymore.
Not anymore.
No, that's not how society works right now.
I think we're gonna end it on that note, guys. Elsa's socials, anything you wanna plug or anything like that? Anything you wanna plug down in the comments down below or right now? Anything you wanna say to the people?
I don't know. Eat well, live long, stay hydrated, and coffee's not a meal.
Coffee's not a meal.
No, it's not.
All right, guys. I appreciate y'all for messing with us, man. Let us know some more manosphere, feminine, masculinity stuff to react to. We got this piece. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Peace.